Hey everybody. So today we're going to be kind of working off of what we were doing yesterday a little bit. We're going to take that short outline that we did yesterday in lesson three, and we're going to expand it out into a longer, probably a full outline, as if we were actually going to go ahead and write an opinion piece based on that topic. So we're going to be working off the topic that you chose yesterday to do the little opinion piece and one of the topics that you put on the Padlet. So again, we're working towards the major summative in this unit is creating a 5-paragraph opinion piece. What we're doing today is we're preparing an outline for that 5-paragraph opinion piece with basically all the main points, all the examples that you would use as if you were writing it. The one you're going to write tomorrow is on a different topic, though. I don't want you to do the same topic over the next 3 days. Today you're doing the same one you did yesterday, or you can choose a different one. It doesn't really matter to be honest with you, as long as when you do your one tomorrow, it's a different one than you did the next two. So if you have a really good idea and something you feel really strongly about, then kind of save that one for the summative in the next unit. At the end, sorry, not tomorrow, but in lesson 6 and 7 of this unit, we'll be doing that essay. Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to be clicking around a lot today, so hopefully we can follow along with what we're doing. So lesson 3, you decided on a topic. This fade, you're going to take that topic and make it into a question. Okay, so like the topic that I used yesterday was straws being banned in restaurants. I think so. I would turn that into a question: is should straws be banned in all restaurants in Ontario? And then when I wrote my opinion piece, it would be obvious that I would feel one way or the other about that. The example that you were given yesterday in the exemplar that I gave you was: do schools and school officials have a responsibility to ban selling water bottles in schools and set a good example for youth? I've included that example today. That's one of the examples we're going to be flipping back and forth for. So for this long outline you're going to be doing, the purpose is to express your opinion to an interested adult. You're going to take a 5-paragraph opinion piece that should be done using the graphic organizer, and you're going to go through and plan out that 5-paragraph opinion piece. You do not have to write the whole thing. You're simply using the template that I've given you, the graphic organizer, to plan it out. You have to plan it out. You don't have to write it out. So number 1, you're going to either choose a topic you did yesterday or a new topic, and you're going to take a stance. This is very important. I think I mentioned yesterday, shouldn't really write about something that you're kind of wishy-washy about or you don't really know how you feel about it. Take a topic that you can absolutely believe one way or the other and take a stand on it. I think if you do that, you're going to be more apt to be a little more powerful in your argument. You'll have more knowledge about the topic, and you're going to be more apt to find examples that support your opinion than if you did something that you're not really sure about. You're going to come up with a question based on that topic. So you're going to make a statement to answer the question you pose and express your opinion. The next step is to brainstorm reasons for your opinion and some examples support these reasons. You're looking for 3 main points with 3 examples to support each. Okay, so when you go ahead and write your main piece in lesson 6 and 7, you're going to have a topic with 3 full examples and 3 main points and 3 examples per main point to back up what you're saying. Talked about before, proof and examples are extremely important. Okay, so let's take a look at the Google Doc we're going to be working with. Okay, so here it is. So what you're going to do is record your topic from the lesson 3 organizer. You can use that one or you can use a different one. Whatever topic you're using, put it here. You will phrase that topic as a question. So, should water bottles be banned in Ontario? Yes or no? Okay, let's take a look at the one that I gave you the example that we talked about yesterday, the student example. I've given you a full example here of a student exemplar. So his piece was, the topic is bottled waters in schools. The question he formulated was, do schools and school officials have a responsibility to ban selling bottled water in schools and set a good example for youth? You'll notice here, there's no opinion here. We're not saying whether he believes yes or no this. He's simply asking that question. Okay. Next, he's going to go ahead and introduce the topic. Okay, so that would be here. You're going to introduce your topic. This is your thesis statement. I talked yesterday that the thesis statement is the most important sentence in an opinion piece. It is clearly telling the reader of your piece exactly what you're going to prove. So here is where you state your thesis statement. Okay, so if we look here, his thesis statement was, we see more and more schools and universities all across the world working towards banning the sale of bottled water. It's estimated over 30 billion single-serve bottled water is gulped down each year. Okay, that's his topic. His thesis statement, now we find out exactly what he believes. I firmly believe that the sale of bottled water should be banned in schools. That's his thesis statement. One good, concise, hard sentence that very much accurately shows exactly how he feels. Then he lists the 3 supporting points he's going to be using throughout the entire course of the essay. These aren't examples. These are his arguments. Okay, these are the arguments he's going to use. Supporting point, argument number 1, we know that big bottled companies are simply using tap water. Point 2, bottles of water are bad for the environment. And 3, it's very expensive. So those are his 3 arguments that he's going to use examples to bring into each. Let's click back to the unit 3, the lesson 3 example of a short one. This is his short piece of evidence. So here are his supporting points, right? So his point 1, we all know big bottle companies using tap water. Here's the evidence that he's using. Okay. A couple of these are opinion. What I'd like to see is using a little more concrete proof, or do some research and come up with, I would have liked for him to do some research and come up with some proof of this. Most of the time they'll say it's using polypurifying water. Well, you probably could have went and looked up and find out exactly how many bottle companies are simply using tap water that they purify, and then cite the source with an embedded citation here. So let's jump back. Let's take a look at his first paragraph. Okay, so we know that his topic sentence is, one reason why bottled water should be banned is from knowing more than 25% of bottled water is simply tap water. Supporting detail, look at the label. Most of the time they'll state that it's 100% purifying water. Well, then maybe if some research you could do is go look at a label and reference that, or do some research into what water companies actually just use tap water or not. Then he gives his detail, but then he uses some proof for an example. For example, tap water, which is coming out of the faucet, the water found in schools is similar, if not identical, to the bottled water. Detail 2, so this is his second example to support his first main point, which is, it's basically tap water. Many people drink bottled water because they believe it to be of a higher quality, cleaner, better tasting, but that's not necessarily true. An example of this is, if you don't like the taste of your tap water, try a filtered pitcher. So he's basically saying, in his outline, in his essay, he would argue, instead of, if you don't like the taste of your simply tap water, you can simply do what the bottled water companies do and use a filter for it. Supporting detail 3, bottled water is just tap water in a container. Here, he definitely needs to cite his source, because this isn't something he came up with off the top of his head. He obviously researched it. There should be an embedded citation here, which would be in quotation marks, blah, 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 whatever it is, according to MLA format. Again, I gave a video on explaining how to do that. And then the full citation should be down in his work cited. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Now, body paragraph 2, we will flip back to his short here in blue. He's color-coded his supporting point 1 and 2. Second argument, bottles of water are bad for the environment. So very different than this one. Okay, it's a completely separate argument. You can't argue the same thing over and over. You have to argue different reasons why you feel you're true. Bottles of water are bad for the environment. Okay, and here we have some support and evidence that he's going to use in his longer piece. So go over here to his longer one. Topic sentence, another reason why bottled water should be banned is it's terrible for the environment. Supporting detail number 1, more than 100 million plastic bottles end up in landfill. An example, plastic is the main reason why the earth is dying. Again, that's kind of more opinion. I'd like you to use more concrete proof, do some research, etc. But this is simply an opinion piece, but I want you to support your opinion a little more. Second detail, the empty plastic water bottles are often carelessly thrown on the ground and end up in lakes and oceans. An example, such negligence causes a considerable amount of pollution and jeopardizes aquatic life. And so on, he repeats, does it to detail 3, an example. Okay? Then he comes back to his third paragraph and does the exact same thing. Okay. Then we go down to your conclusion. Okay. Your conclusion is simply a restating of your thesis statement. Your thesis statement says what you're going to prove. This says what you did prove. And again, you restate your supporting points 1, 2, and 3. And I've always included an exemplar here that I gave you in I think it's the first or second lesson of this unit. Okay. Good luck with that. Enjoy.